There are places on this planet that call to the adventurer in all of us, places that seem to whisper promises of discovery and wonder. Iceland is one of those places, a land where the extraordinary is part of everyday life. The air here is crisp, clean, and full of raw, powerful energy. Every breath feels like a connection to something ancient and untamed. You see it in the volcanic rock formations, feel it in the wind, and hear it in the rush of waterfalls that seem to sing their own wild songs. This isn't just a country, it's a living, breathing story, unfolding with every step you take across its dramatic terrain. Every mountain and river seems to have a tale to tell, shaped by centuries of natural forces and human imagination. Iceland's landscape is shaped by fire and ice, constantly changing and making you feel small in the face of nature's power. Glaciers carve valleys while volcanoes create new earth, reminding us that this land is always alive. The legends here are born from the land itself, stories of elves, trolls, and hidden people woven into the very being of Iceland. These tales aren't just for children, they're part of the national identity, shaping how people see the world around them. Early settlers made up myths to explain things they couldn't understand, giving faces to the powerful forces around them. These stories helped them make sense of the unpredictable, sometimes harsh environment. When you travel through Iceland, you're not just a tourist, you become part of an ongoing story, adding your own footsteps to the saga of this remarkable place. You walk in the footsteps of Vikings and storytellers, every rock and river filled with old tales and echoes of the past. This connection to the past makes a trip here very special. It's a place where history feels alive, and every artifact has a story to share. It's an adventure that goes beyond just seeing things, deep into the heart of myth and mystery, where every landscape feels enchanted. In Iceland, the line between what's real and what's magic is thinner than anywhere else on Earth. Here, the impossible feels possible, and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. It's an experience that will stay with you long after you've returned home, lingering in your memory like a half-remembered dream. Welcome to Iceland, the land where legends live, and where your own story becomes part of its soul. Iceland's stories are deeply connected to its rocks and its past. Every stone, every mountain, and every river here seems to hold a memory, echoing the ancient tales that have shaped this land for centuries. This is a young land, still being shaped by volcanoes erupting, their fiery power constantly renewing the earth. The ground beneath your feet is alive, always changing, reminding us that Iceland is a place where creation and destruction walk hand in hand. And huge plates of earth moving slowly but powerfully, tearing open the land and forging new landscapes. These dramatic forces have made Iceland a place of raw, untamed beauty. Imagine the first Viking settlers arriving to a world of fire-breathing mountains and huge ice caps. They faced a land that was both terrifying and awe-inspiring, a place where nature's power was impossible to ignore. The tough environment became the perfect stage for amazing stories of gods, giants, and magical creatures. In this wild setting, legends grew as a way to explain the mysteries and dangers all around. Storytelling was a way to survive during long, dark winters. It was for fun, for teaching, and for passing down wisdom from one generation to the next. In the flickering firelight, families would gather close, weaving tales that brought warmth and hope, and for keeping their culture alive. These stories became the threads that held the community together, connecting people to their ancestors and to the land itself. The Icelandic sagas born from this tradition show how strong the people were. They tell of heroes and outlaws, of love and betrayal, and of the enduring spirit needed to thrive in such a challenging place. The landscape itself gives us the characters, tall rock columns as trolls, frozen in time by the rising sun, and strange shapes that spark the imagination. Mossy lava fields as homes for hidden people, elves, and spirits, believed to dwell just out of sight, shaping the fate of those who wander too close. Nature isn't just a background, it's an active part of Iceland's old stories. Waterfalls, geysers, and glaciers are all characters in the ongoing saga of this land. The stories give meaning to the land, turning every stone and stream into a piece of living history. And the land makes the stories feel real, grounding myth in the very earth itself. Exploring Iceland is like stepping into a living storybook, where every path leads to a new legend waiting to be discovered. Here, myths are a way of understanding our place in the world, reminding us that the land and its stories are forever intertwined. Icelandic legends are full of amazing characters, each woven into the very fabric of the country's culture and landscape. The Huldufolk, or hidden people, are said to be human-sized elves who live in a world that exists right alongside our own. According to tradition, they make their homes in magical rocks and hills, blending seamlessly into the wild terrain. Many Icelanders respect the idea that these hidden people might truly exist, and some even avoid disturbing certain rocks or hills, just in case. This belief adds a sense of unseen magic to everyday life, making the ordinary feel extraordinary. Trolls, on the other hand, are described as huge, rough creatures who roam the land at night. When sunlight touches them, they turn to stone, an idea that explains the many strange and dramatic rock shapes scattered across Iceland. These stories were more than just entertainment. They served as warnings, teaching people to respect the wild, unpredictable forces of nature that shape the land. Other beings, like water spirits and ghosts, appear in Icelandic folklore as reminders of the dangers hidden in nature: swift rivers, deep lakes, and sudden storms. They show how important it is to respect the land and its moods. Each creature, whether elf, troll, or spirit, is a symbol for the powerful forces of nature and the challenges of living in such a wild, beautiful place. Together, these legends create a rich tapestry of myths that give the land a soul and a sense of lasting mystery, inviting everyone to look a little closer. These legends are more than just stories. They're a way for people to understand, connect with, and respect Iceland's wild heart, passing down wisdom through generations. The land's personality is shaped by these tales, charming everyone who visits and leaving them with a sense of wonder that lingers long after they leave. In modern Iceland, old beliefs still shape daily life. It's not about believing them word for word, but a deep respect for old ways, nature, and the power of stories. This respect shows up everywhere, from art and music to how cities are planned. Building projects are sometimes changed to avoid bothering rocks believed to be elf homes. The old stories are an open secret, showing a deep connection to the land. Icelandic artists and musicians get ideas from these legends, keeping them alive for new generations. Festivals and holidays celebrate old traditions, and telling stories is still a favorite pastime. Even in Reykjavik, you'll hear tales of elf churches and hidden people. This mix of modern life and myth creates wonder and respect for nature. In Iceland, there's always room for magic and mystery. Iceland is like a treasure map for those looking for legends. Start at Reynisfjara's black sand beach, where tall rock pillars are said to be trolls turned to stone by the sun. Explore Dimmuborgir, a wild lava field believed to be home to trolls and dark legends. Waterfalls like Skogafoss and Seljalandsfoss are not just beautiful, they're doorways to other worlds, each with its own myth. The West Fjords are full of tales of witches and magic, with museums all about magical history. Hiking these faraway places feels like going back in time, surrounded by amazing landscapes and echoes of old stories. Every place offers more than just pretty views. It's a direct connection to Iceland's soul. Here, the land and its legends are always together. Each place invites you to imagine, to believe, and to become part of the story. In Iceland, every trip is a magical adventure. The landscape itself is alive with old tales. Iceland's wild nature is an adventure all on its own. Waterfalls like Gullfoss and Dettifoss are amazing displays of nature's power. The country sits on the mid-Atlantic ridge with over 100 volcanoes shaping the land. You can hike on lava fields, explore volcano openings, and even go down inside a sleeping volcano. Glaciers cover more than 10% of Iceland. Vatnajökull is the biggest in Europe. Guided glacier hikes and blue ice caves offer experiences you'll never forget. The mix of fire and ice, water and rock makes Iceland truly spectacular. Here you see the forces that create and destroy things up close. The landscape shapes the Icelandic spirit and inspires timeless legends. Exploring this land connects you to the very core of the planet. It's an adventure that makes you feel alive and changes how you see things. Iceland's extreme nature is at the heart of its magic. Heat from the earth creates some of Iceland's most amazing sights. The Geysir area is home to Strókr, which shoots water into the air every few minutes in a display of Earth's inner heat. Natural hot springs and warm pools like the Blue Lagoon offer a chance to relax and feel connected to the land. Hidden hotspots in faraway valleys are the best Icelandic experience. But the true magic is the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights. From September to April, the sky comes alive with colorful ribbons, a quiet, dreamy show. Chasing the aurora means being brave in the cold and dark, but the reward is unforgettable. These moments, waiting for a geyser, soaking in a hot spring, or watching the northern lights, show what Icelandic adventure is all about. They remind us of how beautiful and mysterious the natural world is. In Iceland, wonder is always just around the corner. Iceland makes you feel a sense of wild clarity and purpose. The magic here is in how legends and the land are woven together. This connection makes you feel like you're walking through a world older and more mysterious than our own. True adventure is about pushing your mental and emotional limits, and Iceland does just that. Standing before an elf church or hearing tales of hidden folk changes how you think. The experience makes you feel small in a good way, encouraging respect for both seen and unseen worlds. Iceland changes you, not just through what you see, but through how you feel connected. Moments of awe, like seeing the northern lights, remind you how important wonder and imagination are. The legends are a guide to understanding the spirit of the land. This is the true magic of Iceland, a place of raw beauty, mystery, and inspiration. Now it's your turn to experience Iceland's story. This is more than a vacation. It's an invitation to step into legend and write your own story. Challenge yourself against the elements and discover new strength. Listen to the land, feel its energy, and let the stories come alive. Talk to locals, hear their tales, and let the line between what's real and what's myth become blurry. Pack your courage and curiosity. Get ready for breathtaking beauty and unpredictable weather. Whether chasing the northern lights or hiking under the midnight sun, Iceland will leave its mark. The memories you make will become chapters in your own adventure. Go and discover the land of fire and ice. Create your own legends. Let your Icelandic story begin, and return changed by the wild magic of this extraordinary place.